Yeah. What's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Go Ask Your Mama. That's right, Go Ask Your Mama. I know that's a strange name, right? Well, first of all, this isn't just another YouTube live stream or, let's say, podcast, quote unquote, right? This is a conversation for men who had to figure out life without a blueprint, all right? This is for the men who didn't always have somebody to ask. You know, growing up without a father, you tend to have to ask your mother about things, you know, and you get a female perspective on what it is to be a man. And though our mothers do a wonderful job and an incredible job, an excellent job, they can't teach us many aspects of manhood. All right. So that's what this is about. So whether your father was absent physically, emotionally, or you had an amazing father, this conversation is for you. All right. Tonight we're talking about something that affects millions of men around the world, and it's what growing up without a father doesn't teach you. All right. Now, before we start, let me just say this. All right. I'm not saying every man without a father struggles. That's not what I'm saying. Many men become incredible fathers, incredible husbands, incredible leaders. Now, what I am saying is that there are certain lessons many of us simply had fewer opportunities to learn. Everybody understand that? So we owe it to ourselves to learn them now. So before we get into all of that though, chat, what's going on? I want to hear from y'all. Chat, what's going on? Where y'all watching from, man? Where y'all watching from? Let me see who up in here. Zaire, what's up? What's going on? Appreciate that, Zaire. So my mom had to teach who the one and only true God is. My father didn't want to teach me that. Okay. That's real. That's a wonderful aspect of life. Wonderful aspect. Where everybody watching from, man? Give me some cities, some states, some countries, all that good stuff, man. I want to know. Let's see. What's up, Demi? What's going on? Yeah, I appreciate y'all tuning in too, man. God bless. Layla, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? All right, who had both parents growing up? Anybody? Douglasville. Oh, you in Georgia like me? That's what I'm talking about. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Douglasville, Georgia. So who had both parents growing up? Anybody? Anybody had both parents? Chicago. Okay. I see you. Chicago. Another Chicago. Hey, appreciate that. Chi-Town. Oh, we got a few people from Chi-Town. Okay. So who's that? And only one. Demi, you said you grew up with both parents? Okay. Zaya, you grew up with both parents? Okay, awesome. Atlanta, we got Atlanta in the house. You have both parents technically. Oh, Dominique, you got to explain that to me. What you mean you have both parents technically? What you mean by that? Come on, put me on. What you mean? The video freezing? Okay, I'm from Mobile, Alabama. You mess with my content. You had your mom your whole life? Okay, that's what's up. Who had a father that was there physically? I know you got a couple people that said they had both parents. Who had a father that was there physically? Anybody? Okay. We got mobile. Dominique, it's freezing for you? Demi J? Okay. All right, so we're gonna do something real quick, right? Let's switch real quick. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. King in the house, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. What do fathers actually teach? Like, not what they're supposed to teach, but like, what do they actually teach? Now, I'm not talking about changing tires. I'm not talking about tying a tie. Like, all of those are great, you know, practical things or whatnot. Or throwing footballs. I feel like they model adulthood. Okay, that's what I feel like. They model adulthood. And one of the things we're gonna go over a few things. All right, we're gonna go over a few things. One of the things I think that a father answers a question is, what does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a man? Not through words, through observation. Like, let me give y'all a personal story, right? So growing up a lot, I would always feel different than everybody else. My father wasn't in my life, and side note, you know, I don't hate him. I've forgiven him, and all that good stuff. So let me just throw that out there, right? You know, I have no malice towards him or anything like that. And this show is not to speak bad on, you know, our fathers or anything, but it's just to just recognize the real, recognize the obvious, right? The obvious. And the obvious is that when I was growing up, because I didn't have that male affirmation, I wasn't affirmed in manhood. I often try to find it in many different ways. And throughout the episodes, we're going to go a lot deeper into these things, but I try to find it in different ways. I try to find it in gangs. I try to find it in music. I try to find it in sex, drugs. You know, I try to find it in so many different things. Now, when you have a father in your life, they tend to affirm manhood for you. It's like a coming of age in a way. And I didn't get that. I didn't get that. You know, again, my mother tried her best, you know, to affirm me, but she couldn't affirm me the way that I need to affirm. Like I look at my kids now, right? Like y'all know the twins, right? But I have 6 altogether. I have 4 boys and I have really 4 girls, you know, 4 girls, extended family, but it's all family, right? So, out of my boys, I see certain things that they've taken from me, whether they know it or not. They may not even know that consciously. They've seen these things over the years, and now they model certain things because it was something that I put into them, something that they see me move in a certain way. So that's what I'm talking about, right? Another thing is emotional regulation. I think a lot of us confuse masculinity with emotional suppression. Now, I did a video. It kind of touched on it. It's called Confessions of a Black Man, right? And it talked about just being so overwhelmed with different things and not being able, you know, be able to be vulnerable and stuff. Just not feeling safe enough to be vulnerable. But masculinity should not be tied with emotional suppression, right? So as men, we tend to suppress our emotions. Why? Why do we tend to suppress our emotions? Because of course, the social structure has created this environment where we feel like we cannot be vulnerable without looking soft, looking weak, right? Any type of vulnerability, any type of our emotions that we want to, you know, fear, insecurity, things like that. We can't really express those things without feeling weak. And you have some people, some men and some women who will absolutely make you feel that way. As soon as you get the courage and be like, yeah, I'm going to talk about, you know, how I feel and all this good stuff, man. And, you know, just express myself, man. And then you'll have a man and just be like, oh man, toughen up, man. You don't know that pussy, you know, punk shit and all that, you know, they'll do stuff like that. Right. And then you'll have, some women to be like, oh my God, you're so soft. You're so soft. Oh my God, you're just so soft. Right. So we tend to hold on to one major emotion as men, and that's anger. Have you ever seen a man that was just like always just upset, just always angry, right? Just always angry, right? That's because that's the one emotion that we were allowed to have. We could be angry, but then when we get angry and we act out and we do crazy things, then we're the enemy, we're the bad ones, right? But that's the only emotion that we're able to have. I'm reading this book, right? Let me show y'all real quick. I don't know if y'all have read this book, but I've been reading it. It's a dope book, right? It's by Jason Wilson. It's called The Man, the Moment, The Man, the Moment, Demands. All right. So he talks about he talks about this section where he's talking about the man's emotions and how, I'm just paraphrasing, a man is equipped. We're born with the full gamut of emotions. Let's just throw it out there, like a crayon box, right? 64 different emotions, right? But we're taught as we get older that we shouldn't have those emotions. So men end up having about 8 emotions, a crayon box of about 8 emotions, right? And that we continuously cycle through, and we're unable to meet the challenges or even able to meet our women or anybody else at their emotional level, because if let's just say her crayon box says it's a violet color, we may have like a maybe a purple is close to it, but it's not exactly the same thing. So we can't really relate or really meet that moment that we need to, because of how society has done these things to us. So, a man who's been able to model that in his life for his kids, for his sons, and even his daughters, is a blessing. It's completely a blessing. So another thing, vulnerability. I've already said that men aren't able to be vulnerable. I think it's about time, and which is I have started doing. I think it's about time to just give a damn what nobody say, man. Fuck that shit. Be vulnerable. Don't care what nobody says, man. Masculinity isn't about being tough or always the one that can fight. Now, I'm going to explain that in a later episode, the difference between a man and masculinity. I'm going to give you one piece of it right now. There's a difference between being a man, and there's a difference between being masculine. Naturally, you're going to transition from a boy to a man. That is a biological thing, right? But that doesn't mean because you're a man, you're masculine. You have some women who have masculine tendencies. You have some men who have feminine tendencies, right? This is a certain energy that you have, that you project, certain things that come with it, right? And again, I'm going to do an episode that's going to talk about all of that stuff. Chat, what's going on? It says, has the twins been messing with me lately? Always. It says, if men cannot articulate their emotions or talk about the emotions, then we will continue to have world wars, hatred, and many unhealthy, deadly events. There could be some truth to that, in a sense, but I don't think a lot of the world wars and events, some of the events that we have, some of them, yes, but some of the events that we have, I don't think that it's because of the emotions. I just think as men, we're naturally just conquerors, man. This is just, we've done this since the beginning of time. We conquer, we take. That's what we've done, unfortunately. So, next thing before I get back in the chat, and I'm gonna get in the chat in a couple more minutes, man. We're gonna talk a little bit. I want to hear from y'all, man. Like, I really want to be engaged with y'all and just really just tap in with y'all. But I got one more thing I'm gonna talk about before I get back with the chat. So the third thing is discipline. Like, nobody wakes up disciplined. Discipline is usually modeled. You see it. Now, this is something that a woman can teach as well. Okay. So I don't want to say that women can't teach this, because they absolutely can. But again, I don't know, for you mothers out there who have male children, it's things are a lot different coming from a man to a male child than it is from a female to a male child. There's certain things that the male child can receive better coming from a male than it is from a woman. That's how it goes a lot of times. Not every time, but that's how it goes a lot of times. So discipline is one of the things where a young boy sees his father go to the gym consistently. A young boy sees his father eating good. A young boy sees his father going to work every day. A young boy sees his father, let's say reading or just doing certain things, and he's witnessing discipline in real time. Again, people got to understand, when we're born, we don't know a lot of things. And many of the things that we learn, you can do all of this all day. Many of the things that we learn from what we see in our environment. And the most important people in our circle when we're born is our parents. Those are the most important people. Then you have siblings, of course. It's our parents. Your parents, especially for a boy, your father is your superhero. He is your superhero. What happens when you have no superhero? What happens? Who's gonna save the day? Who's gonna show you what it is to be masculine? What's gonna happen? A lot of times we end up becoming a villain. Fortunately. Chat. What's up, chat? What's going on? All right, it says, hey, love your vids and agree with what you're saying very much. I feel like I've never been able to talk about my emotions or anything. And listen, I understand. Let me give you a recommendation. Journal. Listen, journal. And when I say journal, don't just write some stuff down because it sounds good. I'm talking about be completely and utterly honest. Completely and utterly honest with how you feel. And I mean, a lot of times when I journal, I'll come up with some stuff, be like, I'm talking about accountability on a whole nother level. And that's one of the problems. A lot of times, just outside of what we're talking about, a lot of times we can't see ourselves because we've lied to ourselves for so long. And we're afraid to be honest to our own selves. If we had some honesty to ourselves, there's a lot of healing that would happen. I had to be honest. I had an honest moment where I realized that the only reason when I was younger, not now, but when I was younger, while I was doing music, the only reason why I was doing a lot of things that I was doing was because I craved the acceptance of my father, and I never had it. So I went out to get acceptance and attention from everybody else and everything else, and I used different methods. I became a chameleon. Like I became what I thought other people wanted me to be so that I'd be accepted by them. So every person got a different version of me. You understand? So chat. Hey, Keontae Bostic, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. It says, be honest with everyone around you, especially God. You really don't have to be honest with God. You know, God already knows. God already knows. You got to be honest with yourself. You ain't gonna be able to lie to God. It's just not gonna happen. You can try. I mean, you can literally. That's just like having camera footage on something, right? And they catch you stealing in the store, and you like, I didn't steal, and you sitting here literally with a foot in your face, like, oh yeah, no shit, you didn't steal, huh? Oh, okay, wow, interesting. So you got to be honest with yourself. No problem, GOAT. No problem. Much love, most definitely. Amen. Absolutely. Another thing I want to talk about, chat, man. Y'all can keep sliding through, man. Keep commenting, man. I'm gonna stop every once in a while and just tap in with y'all. Another thing I want to talk about is love. Now that one hit me the hardest. How do you know as a man how to love if you've never consistently seen it? How do you know? People have this thing in their mind, and I realize more so. People have this thing in their mind that you just supposed to know certain things, like love, sex, a lot of things. You're just not just born knowing how to do a lot of things. You're just not, right? You may be born with an emotion or something like that, but you're not just born just how to doing all these certain things. Like you don't know how to do it. You have to learn. It's like anything else. We go to school to learn how to do certain things, right? We go to school for these things. That means in order to learn, you can give me knowledge, but I also got to have the experience. I also have to see it. So many people get in relationships. Us men, we get into relationships and we fail. I failed. Still failing in many ways. I'm still failing. Because you have to, it's on the job training. That's what it is. When you grow up and you don't see how, you don't never shown how to love somebody, when you get in relationships, that's on the job training. Because you're learning in real time how to do this, and you're going to fail a lot. Some people just quit. Some people give up. Because you either have a spouse who maybe have grew up in an environment where they know how to love, and they are impatient with the fact that you don't know how to, and understandably so. So there's nothing wrong with that, right? Or you just have a person who refuses to take accountability and understand, like, hey, I'm wrong. I need to learn how to do this better. I think that's something that I struggle with. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, this is going to be a very honest show. So you're going to see little glimpses of me. I'm going to be honest with you about who I am, how I feel. But yeah, love, consistency, protection, sacrifice, affection, respect, accountability. These are all things that's aspects that are under the umbrella of love, right? Um, Consistency is one thing. Sometimes we start something, but we never finish it. Sacrifice, affection. Oh man, that's a big one with me. That's a big one with me. Okay. Uh, the reason why it's a big one with me is I never knew that I wasn't an affectionate person because I had dated women or been around women who never like really required certain things. But then when I ended up getting with a woman who required affection, it was really weird to me because it was like, what do you mean? And I realized that affection is awkward for me. It's very awkward. And you could have grew up in a house with a mother who was very affectionate, and it might not be awkward to you. So this is just kind of more peculiar to my situation. But I didn't see it modeled a lot of times, and I took on the emotional state of my mother. And a lot of times as a young boy, you're looking for something to model unconsciously. You're looking for something to model, and you pick up the habits and the traits of those people that you are around at a very young age. And if you don't have a stable, emotionally stable male in your life, you'll only learn the emotional side, which is what you get from a woman is emotional. Now, let me just say that is the nature of a woman, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's why I believe that you got to have both a man and a woman, because a woman brings a perspective that men never consider because we're so logical all the time. And the woman brings a perspective, and that dynamic together makes a powerhouse. It makes a powerful force. So don't take me saying that a woman's emotional as a negative thing, because it's not. We're supposed to balance each other out. That's what's supposed to happen. So what happens when you don't have that force to balance each other out, then you have the female who's here, and you have the child that's here, and he's learning all these different things. All right. Next thing, like I said, was accountability. A father should eventually become the voice in your ear that tells you you can do better. You can do better. Some of us never develop that voice. Many of us have feelings of abandonment. Many of us just settle for just anything. I did that for a long time, right? And I'm still at a place where I'm struggling to get out of that so that I can do better. Affirmations work. Like they're great. All right, let's see. To be honest, I've been trying to find love, but it's not to chase it, but to let it come to you through time. Yeah, that's true. You gotta prepare yourself. That's from Prophetic Nation. You gotta prepare yourself. You gotta prepare yourself for love. You don't go searching for it. You attract those things that you want. Track those things that you want based on who you are. Okay. Let me see. My dad didn't grow up without a dad. My dad didn't grow up without a dad. I got into drugs, drinking, women, smoking, burning the streets of LA, and then all of a sudden he had Jesus to save him, and he took away all addictions. Okay. That's a dope story. Yeah, I've been there, man. Drugs, drinking, women, smoking. Like I said, gang life, man. I was man, listen. Hey. Y'all don't understand. Well, I had it bad, man. I had it bad. Y'all don't even understand. I had it. Woo, Lord Jesus. Let me tell you some of my gang stories. Like I always knew that I was never like this really gangster person, right? I was soft at heart. Like I'm a softie. And what I mean by that, don't mean that you can run up to me now. You run up to me now, we gonna fight. Like that's completely different. That's talking about something different. But I was a soft-hearted boy, and over time, like I said, I had to learn how to. I'm gonna say I learned how to do it, but I had to. I realized that softness does not work in this world, so I put on this hard shell. And when I joined a gang, it felt like family. Now this was a morally corrupt family. Mind you, this was a morally corrupt family, but it was like a family, and that felt really good. So I would go out, and a lot of times, man, we would do things. We would do strong arm robberies, kick goals. We do all different types of stuff, man. Just all type of things. The statute of limitation has passed on all these things. That's why I'm talking about that. So let me just let y'all know that right now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't snitching on myself. The statute of limitations have passed. I ain't worried about that. And I ain't never killed nobody before. I ain't never did that. And I never unalived nobody. I never did that before. All right. But I did a lot of crazy stuff. And in my heart, in my mind, I did those things because I just wanted to be accepted. Even though my heart was never in it, I knew I wasn't no gangster. I knew I would never unalive nobody. I didn't have that in my heart to do. But I wanted to be accepted, and there was almost nothing that I wouldn't do to make that happen. Understand? Almost nothing. So it was something else. It was something else. Like, yeah, it was something else. So let's see. It said, Prophetic Nation, he been sober for 34 years, never went back to his street life anymore. And then he had me and my brother united as a family, got paid. You almost did it to the twins. Nah, man, I love them boys, man. And I think that was an important thing for me. It was important for me to be a father to my kids. And it's something I still struggle with. But it was important for me to be there, to be here for them. So that's what I'm doing. Be there for them. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, let's go to the chat one more time. Let's see what the chat talking about. Chat. I'm gonna go up a little bit. Dominique said it's easier said than done, but that's the truth. I'm still single, have never been in a relationship, so maybe one day. Yeah. Should I have a girlfriend, but I've been feeling like I'm failing her because I have struggles with sharing my emotions, and she's stuck wondering what's up. Tell her that. Be honest. Best thing you can do is tell a person, I want to share my emotions, but I have a problem doing that because of just things that I've gone through. The life that I live, stuff that I've faced throughout my lifetime. And I don't know how to do this. Please be patient with me. Please bear with me. I love you, and I'm going to do my best. Maybe that's something that I need to do more often myself. Y'all gonna have me crying up in here in a minute, man. Yeah. Gonna have me in my emotions. Lord. Appreciate that, Kyrie. Appreciate that. Man, we need fathers every step of the way. Absolutely. We need fathers every step of the way, man. I'm realizing more and more how important we are. Let me tell you how I realize, right? Man, even for daughters. Tell what my daughter told me. Like, all right, so y'all know I cuss. I cuss a lot. Now, I really don't have no qualms with my kids cussing. I have a problem with them cussing at me or at any adult. No, we're not gonna do that. But I don't have no problem with my twins with my kids cussing, right? But my daughter, sometimes my oldest daughter, she cusses in ways that I don't cuss, or that I look at her and I'm like, did I went somewhere wrong? She be cussing, right? And she said something to me the other day. I was just like, girl, you the way you be cussing sometimes, just Lord have mercy. And she said to me, well, I got it from you. Now, that could have been a cop-out, right? But I will say that I realized that since I had told them my view on cursing, that, that it was okay. And she just kind of went slap crazy. So I'm going to give y'all my view on cursing real quick. I know it's kind of off topic, but I'm going to give y'all my view on cursing. It's a word. Somebody at some point in time, or some group of people at some point in time, said this word is bad, you can't use it, right? It was a created word. This word is bad, you can't use it. They put the value on that word and said you can't use it, you shouldn't use it because it's bad. But it wasn't originally bad. Or was it originally bad? Even if it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. Words are nothing but tools in your vocabulary toolbox. They're used to express certain things, anger, or whatever it is. People deem one word bad, another word, okay. We put the value on that thing. So cussing don't really bother me. It don't really bother me. Like I said, things need to be done respectfully though. Meaning, again, don't cuss at me. And be like, you motherfucker dad, you motherfucker. No, we ain't do all that now. Or even any other dope, but that's how I feel. Let's see. Going back to the chat. Jabario Morton, I'm 42 and I have no kids due to the fact I didn't meet my dad until my late 30s and I was raised to be a Jehovah's Witness. You was raised to be a Jehovah's Witness. Listen, I was raised to be a Jehovah's Witness. I was a Jehovah's Witness, man, from like all the way to about 13 years old. About 13 years old, I was Jehovah's Witness. 13, 14. And then stopped being Jehovah's Witness. And at some point in time, I became a Jehovah's Witness again. And this is what I'm going to say, right? Now, I'm gonna say this to y'all. And I know some people gonna be like, what? Oh my God. I can give you my views on religion all day. But I'm not a Christian, okay? I don't have no problems with Christians. None at all. I don't hate them. I even have a Bible up on my bookshelf that I can read the Bible. I believe that there's definitely a lot of truth within it, a lot of principles that are beneficial for life. And if I'm being honest, I felt like Jehovah's Witness was the closest to what the Bible was saying anyway. That's just my take on it. That's my take on it. Now I'm not saying I'm over here, I'm not saying go out and be a Jehovah's Witness, you know what I mean? I have like I said, I have my view on religion, so it is what it is. You said false doctrine, that's crazy. Words are powerful. Yes, Zaire, words are powerful, man, for real. What's good, Makai? What's going on? Bloodhound, appreciate that. He said, believe everything's going to be all right. Nothing wrong to express how you feel, because that's when you open up to share with others, especially in the chat. Absolutely. Nah, this ain't Stream University Live. Nah. Now, we ain't getting Stream University, man. And I don't care. Whatever. Like, it's whatever. We're going to keep going. Like, we're going to keep doing what we do. We're going to keep putting content out, man. We're going to keep making people laugh. And we're also going to keep making people think. That's what my job is. That's what I'm here to do. There's a lot more to me than just the funny videos that y'all see, man. Like, I'm a writer. I do music. I haven't done it in a long time, but my son, my oldest son, 80K Trey, he got me back in doing music. I'm doing music. I write poetry. I like to act. Things like that. I used to sing. Now I don't know if I can do it now. I don't know if I can do it now. But yeah, I used to sing. Just how does it feel to have a dad? No, I didn't have a father. I didn't have a father. Love Lencia. You must just be coming in. Said Carson that was tripping anyway. Hey man, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But again, like I said, I do appreciate y'all coming. Now, we talked about a lot of things tonight. Now here's the good news. Just because, for the men in there, just because nobody taught you doesn't mean you can't learn. I'm gonna say that again. For everybody who's in the chat, all the men that's in the chat, whoever grew up without a father or didn't have a father emotionally or physically, just because nobody taught you doesn't mean you can't learn. I think one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is, this is just who I am. No. Sometimes that's just who life shaped you to be. It's who life shaped you to be. You still get to decide who you'll become. He'll get to decide. So I want every man in these comments to answer one question. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? I want every man in the comments to answer one question. I got one question for y'all, man. One question. What is one lesson you had to learn on your own because no one taught you? One lesson you had to learn on your own because nobody taught you. One lesson. One lesson. Anybody? Anybody? Good life. I tell you what. So at the end of this broadcast, I'm gonna have an email at the bottom. You guys can email me and tell me exactly what it is. Send your submissions to me, man. I'm gonna be on the air next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. This was more of a summary episode. This was not even like, we're not even going in depth on this episode. This was more of a summary episode for you guys to understand what Go Ask Your Mama is all about, right? So this is a summary episode. So next week, we're going to get into the nitty gritty. I can't even talk right now. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. Dang. And we're really going to get into it, man. So I appreciate everybody. The email is going to be in the chat. Not in the chat, on the end of the broadcast. All the social medias, everything is going to be in the broadcast. Please send me your emails. Send me your emails. I'm going to read them on the show every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. I'm here. Every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. I'm here. Come see me. Come holla at me. This is Go Ask Your Mama. Holla.